test because it was in that, and I can add the first one, and then can't see it, it's coming in down below. The second one gets filled in and stuff too. But your question was, can I do test, which was test 3 people was one of my categories there. One of my groups, excuse me. And interesting is it shows you how many people are in that group. So if I hit that, there it is for all of them. Okay? And that would be send the invite. So I'll send the invite. I might get some bounced mail on it. And that goes through mail. So that's why you have to be using Apple Mail for this too. Who here is not using Apple Mail with the exception of your entourage? Are you using online mail mostly?
Yes.
Okay. I would normally say Apple Mail is great because it integrates everything with it really well. Yeah, but I think what's going to happen is we may start seeing it being less of a desktop and more of an online thing. So don't make any changes right now, but you can see how valuable Apple Mail is in this. And again, I think this whole cloud thing that we're transitioning to with Lion and that is going to make the desktop mail client more ubiquitous. I don't think it's going to be as much. So
where is, I mean, you say cloud, but I know it's not sitting up there on the cloud. Where is this information being
North Carolina.
Yeah, it's about to be in North Carolina. Apple has built a $1 billion data center in there. It's 500,000 square feet, and it's full of computers. And you got to remember that. Okay, let's go to the first question. What's a cloud? A cloud is a computer that's somewhere on the internet. Is a whole bunch of your computers. Your computer goes out and gets information. If it goes to apple.com and is looking at the store, that information is stored on one of Apple's computers somewhere, and it's going out and you're getting the information off that computer. You're not downloading a file, you're just viewing the information, a web page, okay? That's a server that has information, and you're connected to it via the internet. Think of it it's a cloud. It's up in the clouds because you don't know where it is. It's somewhere on the internet, and it knows how to get you there and get the information back to you. So when we say cloud, in the case of, like, the internet isn't on your computer, but your computer can access all the internet, right? You can go to anywhere in the internet by accessing it, but your computer doesn't have all those files on it. It has to go out and see them. Okay, so the cloud is where you go, like for instance your address book and things, they're stored up there. You can access them. You can pull the files down, or you can simply go up and just view them. And that's what the cloud is. The cloud is this computer, and the cloud has become a bit of an anachronism for it because it's just up there. It just kind of exists. But
so basically my information is being stored on somebody else's computer.
Yes, and that concerns you, I can tell.
Isn't it on Apple's server farm? I mean, is it another way to...
Mm-hmm. Or the Google is on Google's server farm. Yeah. Yahoo's on Yahoo's server farm. But recently, Sony had a bunch of things on their server farm, and it's been compromised.
Twice.
And a third time, just last night, or 2 nights ago. Well, okay. I believe in security, but I believe more in security through obscurity. And I usually say, if there's the Super Bowl, if the Super Bowl is happening, I can go hide in the Super Bowl stadium pretty easily. It's a lot harder to hide in an elevator. So if my data is amongst all this other data, it's highly unlikely they're going to try farm my data. So I don't mind my data being up there. In fact, my feeling is the more I can throw up there, the less likely they're going to be able to find the important data, but they can. But on the other hand, that data is up there, and the amount of security, there's 2 ways to compromise the cloud or a server farm. One way is through the front door with a card key and this and double secret password, say this, you go through different things. They're secure for that. They're more secure than the Pentagon. But the other way is through the back door, through the internet, for people to get in and hack them. And all I can say is that you don't you don't see Google's servers getting hacked. You don't see Apple servers getting hacked. I don't even think Microsoft servers have been hacked. These companies know that they need to have a big enough roadblock for people to get in that they'll spend millions of dollars, because one breach will cost them tens of billions of dollars in reputation and in fixing that. So the smart companies spend a lot of money on security. Not saying it can't happen, but the likelihood is very small. The majority of times when you hear things getting hacked, for instance, some Gmail accounts got hacked, but that was because those people had weak passwords. It wasn't that Gmail got compromised, it was this person had a weak password and they were able to log into their Gmail account. And I mean, Gmail has one of the best. When you go to make a Gmail account, it requires 8 characters and it requires a combination of letters and numbers, and it's very secure, and it'll tell you if it's not a strong password, it won't even let you sign up. So having that data up there, I send all my tax forms up there. Remember that reference account I said I send to my Gmail? I send, when I'm done with my taxes, I send a PDF of my taxes up there. It's so much more secure than sitting on your computer or having paper files at your house. Just like using credit cards on the internet, you're 100 times more likely to get your credit card compromised at a local restaurant than you are on the internet. So it's one of those things. I use the analogy, there's a lot of people that are afraid to fly. They're afraid to fly because of the planes. You know what? It's 1,000 times more dangerous driving to the airport than it is getting on the plane. But we do that all the time. So you have to, and it's a new world, and there's new things out there. It's the social hacking, the phishing, like the malware we talked about, where it says, your computer's compromised, you must give us your credit card. Those are the ways that the people are getting it now. We've all gotten them emails from our bank and from other banks that we don't deal with saying, we've done a security update and we see yours is bad, so you need to contact this and go to here and fix your password. Never do that. Those are called phishing, P-H-I-S-H-I-N, phishing attacks. And they're trying to get you to log in. I can make a website look just like Wells Fargo. And when you click on it, it says put in your name and password, and all of a sudden, I can make the website look just like it. And boom, you're there. I now have your Wells Fargo password. The best thing to do when you get any of those is, if it's Wells Fargo, if it's Citibank, whatever it is, go directly to the site, wellsfargo.com, and log in the normal way you would, because they can't change that. There's no way they can misdirect it. If you click on an email, you might be misdirected to Bob and Joe's internet, and they're usually in the Eastern European countries. So don't worry about it being up there. I think it's really safe. But everybody's got their own choices there. I believe in convenience more so. I mean, I believe in security, but I also I'm a realist about it. And I've never, ever, I've had a credit card compromised, and it was from a restaurant. But other than that, and I am probably one of the most lax of anybody you'll find, and I have never been compromised.
Is it free?
Knock on wood. I'm sorry?
Is it free?
Which?
The cloud?
Yes, it depends. Google, the cloud, like Gmail. Well, hey, it's weird. The cloud is a bunch of different things. The cloud is, again, Apple has the computers in the cloud. Gmail's all free. Yahoo's free. Apple is probably going to be free for MobileMe for syncing. That's what we're thinking it's heading to. We don't know. But no, you do pay a monthly fee for MobileMe for the syncing on the cloud. That's why, while I love MobileMe for a lot of other things, if it's simply syncing, use Gmail or Yahoo. Get a free account. I like Gmail because it's a better mail account than Yahoo. Yahoo's good, but Gmail's the best. And it's also a great spam filter. But that's also why we're having MacNexus. This comes to the whole other thing. Let's talk about the cloud. Well, MacNexus, your mail was getting sent to Bluehost, is a server. Server's just quote, the cloud. It got sent there, and when your Apple Mail checks mail, it brings a copy of a mail down to your computer. But the server's the post office. So instead of delivering your mail, it goes up and gets a copy. But it's still left on the server for a certain amount of time. What was happening is somehow they got into the server through Bluehost. It wasn't because of MacNexus, but they were going in, they were harvesting emails with weak passwords, and they were using that to send out spam under that person's name. And so we've told people that we'd like to see them transition off of using Bluehost, and in essence, instead of the mail going to that server, it gets forwarded to Gmail, and then you check it there. And part of the reason is Gmail has one of the best spam filters there is. I get hardly any spam on my Gmail. But when I go into my Gmail account and I go look at spam, I get 300 a day. So that's probably your calendar reminder set to, no, that's okay. But the calendar will ring, like, it'll ring my phone. Go ahead.
I'd like to ask a question. When you get iCal,
I'll repeat this, by the way.
it has about 7 or 8 calendars on them.
Yep.
Birthday, dinner, recreation, blank, 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 blank. Okay. And then you can add U.S. holidays and some things.
Right.
Could you, birthday, there's a couple ways to set up birthday. You can either do it and just have a birthday, or you can have the birthday when you do the address book.
Okay.
Can you explain?
You bet. And I'll get in, because I'm doing the calendars, and then I'll do the birthday. So you can have additional calendars, like he said, over here for anything. I made this untitled. So then when I make a new event, let's go to today. Now, let's say I'm a couple years. Oh, by the way, over here, you can raise this up to get more months. So I'm going to go way back here to August of 2010. Instead of clicking through here to today, I just go over here and click today, and here it is. So let's say I have, right here, I want to make an appointment on the 16th. I double click, not on the date, but below it, double click, and I can determine which calendar I want to put in. It did untitled because I already had untitled selected here, but I can change it to whichever calendar I want to put it in. So the calendars on the left can be very specific or broad, and you could just have them calendar, whatever you want. Now, that's the first two. This is on my Mac, and these are my mobile me on the cloud. I could make a birthdays calendar that I call birthdays, and then I physically enter every person's birthday, and then I would set it to repeat how often? Every yearly on the date. I don't have to do the second Tuesday or whatever. So that would be one way to manually do it, and you can consequently have it do alarms and different things like that. But remember, in address book, we were able to add birthdays. So what I do, or what you can do in calendar, in preferences, you can go down here under general and say show birthdays calendar. There I don't, and there I do, right in the lower left. And that one basically reaches into your address book and grabs any of the birthdays you've put in your address book. So if it's in address book, it'll show up in your calendar if you've selected show birthdays calendar. Okay, is that pretty clear? Anybody not get that? I'll go over it. Okay. The other thing I like to select, and it is not on by default, and I think it's wrong. Let's look over here at this little green. You see the one I have here. Okay, 10 a.m., Stanley Cup that night, that thing. This is off by default. It gives you just the event. They're in chronological order, but I like to have this time displayed in my description. And I don't know when they did it. It used to be on by default. At some point they made it so it's under. I think it's because when you get a really full calendar, it makes it not fill up much room. So that's one you want to do. While we're in the control or the preferences here, go ahead.
When he was doing his birthday thing, since you want to know if I'm going to mail you a card, I want to know. I can do the same little thing about setting up. You contact me 2 weeks before your birthday. It gives.
Let's try that on a subscribed calendar. If you make your own birthday calendar, you can do whatever you want. But let's go to June. Oh, this isn't my book, so let me see. Where do I have a birthday? Oh, here we go.